Thank you. Okay. Now we will see limit state of collapse. Okay. That too in shear. Okay. You know what is shear failure? Okay. In RCC you have to know the basics of it and also the shear reinforcement. Here the same thing. Okay, but we have the different formula how to determine the shear force for cracked and uncracked section. Okay, this is from the code book. Okay, directly you can copy it from the code book, and the page number is 34 46, sorry, page number 46, from IS 1343. Okay, you will get everything regarding to the uncracked failure. Okay, so the formula is VCO equals to 0.67 BD square root of FT the plus 0.8 times of FCP into FT. Okay, where B is the width of the member. Suppose if it is rectangle, you can take the directly this B. Okay, if it is I section or T section, take the width of the web. Okay, here or WB. Okay, simultaneously take down this formula. Okay, so if it is rectangular, you can take it as B. If it is I section or T section, take it as BW. Okay, that is width of the web. D is the overall depth of the member. Okay, FT is the maximum principal tensile stress. Okay, and it is given by, it will be 0.24 times of square root of FCK. FCK is nothing but the characteristic compressive strength of the concrete. Okay, whether it is 40 mm, sorry, M40, M30, M50. Okay, and for pre-stress, okay, keep it in mind, the minimum grade will be M30. If not, if you can take minimum of M30 or left to you. And FCP is nothing but the compressive stress at the centroidal axis due to pre-stression taken as positive. Okay, just you take down this formula. VCO equals to 0.67 BD, where B is the width of the beam. Okay, for rectangular section you can take B, and for I and T you can take BW. Okay, D is the overall depth. Square root of summation of FT square plus 0.8 times of FCP into FT. Okay, see here we have important point here. In flanged beams, where the centroidal axis, okay, occurs in the flange, okay, the principal stress should be limited to 0.24 FCK at the intersection of flanged web. Okay, this is calculated by 0.8 of the stress. Okay, 0.8 means in pre-stress, that in post-tensioning, the losses will be from 15% to maximum 20%. Okay, so if you deduct it, means it will be 0.85 or 0.8. आज का डेट 29 होगा ना? Okay, sir. Okay, there will be a how much losses in pre-stress? It will be around 15% to 20% losses. Maximum there will be 20%. Okay, the remaining stress will be 0.85 FT or F, and after the losses, okay, it will be 0.80. Okay, for a section uncracked in flexure with the inclined tendon or vertical pre-stress, the component of pre-stressing force normal to the longitudinal axis of the member can be added to VCO. Okay, we will see this one in numerical. Okay, I hope you have seen, I have taken this new formula. Similarly, take the formula for the cracked section. Okay, the same thing you will get in the IS code book, that too in page number 46. Okay, IS 1343. Okay, so section cracked in flexure. Okay, you know what is flexure? This is a beam. Okay, here it will be supported, and this will be L by 3, L by 3, and L by 3 subjected to the loads. Okay, and you will have some cracks here. Okay, you will have some cracks like this. So this is the failure of the beam under the flexural loading. That too, we are studying about the shear cracks. Okay. So for cracked in flexure, the ultimate shear resistance of the section in the flexure, it is given by 1 minus, just take down this formula, 1 minus 0.55 F PE upon FP tau naught B into D plus M naught V upon M. Okay. Where FPE is the effective press stresses after all the losses. Okay. It may be 20% loss or 15% loss. Okay. If not given, you can take it as 0.8. Okay. Maximum losses, if not mentioned, okay, have occurred, which shall not be greater than of 0.6. Okay. Just to what to do? Just take 0.8. Okay. It will not be more than that one. FP, characteristic strength of precious in steel. Okay, it will be obviously 1600 Newton per mm square. Okay, keep it in mind. And tau c, we have a table. I will show that the table. It is the ultimate shear capacity of the concrete. Okay, as you have the table in IS 456, similarly we have in 1343. Okay, B will be the width of the member. If it is I section or T section, take BW. D is the effective depth. Okay, M naught is the movement necessary to produce zero stress. Okay, in the concrete at the depth. Okay, M naught, you should calculate this one. Okay, to substitute in the main equation, if you call this one as equation number 1, this will be equation number 2. Okay, where F VT or ET, you can call it anything, is the stress due to pre-stress only at the depth D. Okay, that is effective depth, and the distance y from the centroid. Okay, you know y. What is y? Moment of inertia. Okay, if this is your I section. Okay, this will be your neutral axis. Okay, y. Okay, y from the center of the concrete section, which has second moment of inertia. Okay, V and M will be the shear force and bending moment respectively. Okay, VCR should be taken as not less than this one. We will see this is a condition 0.1 BD into square root of FCK. Just what you do, just take down the formula and the things, and take down this formula also. Okay. Okay, this is the table number 6. Okay, to determine the tau c. See here we have tau c into BD. Okay, the ultimate shear capacity, it is given by here. How we will calculate? It is, first what you should do, you should take 100 into AP upon BD. Okay, AP will be the precious area of the processing tendon, B will be the width, and the D will be the depth. Okay, you will get one ratio. Okay, suppose say if you got 0.75, and you should see the grade of the concrete. Okay, for respective grade of the tank concrete, you should choose the value of tau c. Okay, same as you followed in IS 456 2000. Okay, just remember that you should use the table number 6. Okay, so we will solve one numerical regarding the cracked and uncracked section, and also in IS you have done how to determine the stirrup spacing. Okay, number of stirrups, number of rods, stirrup spacing. Okay, Just what you do the same thing, just copy this formula. At any section, the ultimate shear resistance Vc of the concrete alone should be taken as the lesser than the value of, okay, VCW and VCF. When V, the shear force due to ultimate load, is less than Vc, okay, the shear force which can be carried by the concrete, the minimum reinforcement should be provided in the form of stirrups. Okay. For spacing of the stirrups, we have the formula SV equals to ASV 0.87 Fy divided by 0.4 times of V. Okay. This is when V is lesser than Vc. Okay. If V is greater than Vc means what you have done in SD2, that you have balanced the shear. Okay. How you balance? V minus Vc. Suppose the value of this V is, say, it is 120 and you have calculated this one is as 100. Okay. How will balance it? You balance it by 120 minus 100. Okay. You will get 20. Okay. The same thing what you will do, you will put in the formula. Okay. Just take down the formulas, be fast. Yes, SCV will be the spacing of stirrups, okay, along the length of the member. AS will be the total cross-sectional area of the stirrup leg effective in the shear, okay. And the one more thing is that whether you are using 2-leg, 4-leg, 3-leg, 6-leg, whatever, okay. I recommend to use 2-leg stirrups, okay. B will be the width of the member, okay. For I, T and L, what you do, just take the BW. And Fy will be the characteristic strength of the stirrups, okay. In designing, we have taken characteristic strength as 415 mm Newton per mm square, or 415 Pascal, megapascal, okay. So what you do, just remember when to use which formula, okay. Yes. Just note down this point. Okay, when V exceeds Vc, the shear reinforcement is required, conforming to the relation that here what we are doing, we are balancing the shears. Okay, just take care of that one. And here, when the V, the shear force due to the ultimate load, is less than Vc, okay, we should use this formula. Just take care about that one. I hope you copied everything. So we will go to one numerical. Okay. एक बजे तक तो हाँ up to 1 o'clock. ओके, क्योंकि दोपहर में थोड़ा काम है. Just take down the given things. Be fast. We solve hardly 2 to 3 questions. That's it. The one more thing is that not a single time they ask in the examinations. So we won't give much importance, but also it is not necessary to skip. Okay. See here what he says that the support section of pre-stressed concrete beam, okay, of 100 wide and 250 deep. Okay, what you do? Just draw the cross section. It is 100 wide and it is 250 deep. Okay, is required to support ultimate shear force of 60 kilonewton. See here, he has given the value of shear force, that is 60 kilonewton. The thing is that you have to find the value of Vc, okay, and check whether it is greater or lesser. Okay. Now, the compressive pre-stress at the centroidal axis is 5 Newton per mm square. Okay, FCP he has given. Okay, the characteristic cube strength of concrete is 40 Newton per mm square. That is, grade of concrete he has given 40 Newton per mm square. The cover to the tension reinforcement is 50 Okay, how much the cover? It is 50 Okay, if the characteristic tensile strength of the steel in the stirrups, it is 250 Newton per mm square. Okay, instead of 415, he used 250. Okay, design suitable reinforcement at this section using Indian standard code. Okay, we have different standard codes. Actually, begin Krishna Raju, you can find American standard, British standard, and Indian standards. Okay, so we will go for Indian standards recommendations. So what you do, just take down the given things. Okay. Now what we will do, we have the, and whether he is saying for cracked or uncracked section, it is for uncracked section. Cracked or uncracked. So it's a while, okay, we require to the characteristic cube strength to cover the reinforcement if this characteristic strength, okay, design is suitable to use. Okay, he's not said anything. Okay, so we will go for uncracked one, and later we will see for cracked one also. So what is the point of?
Sir, where it is specified that it is incorrect.
No, not specified. So we will go for uncracked, and we will also solve for the crack both. Okay.
And so, as you said that there are different standards of America, British and all,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
but in exam, like which standard is
Only
to
Indian
be?
standards. Only
Oh,
Indian standards.
okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the thing is that we have to find out the value of Vc. Vc equals to just substitute. You know the formula. Just substitute the thing and find the value. It is square root of Ft square 0.8 FCP into Ft. Okay. Substitute the value. B it is 100. Okay. H it is 250 overall depth. Okay. Ft, how much it is? We have to find the value of Ft. How we will find out the Ft? As per IS code, specification, it will be 0.24 times of FCK. Okay. It is 0.24 and the grade of the concrete is 40. Therefore, the Ft.
1.5, sir.
Sorry.
1.51 FT.
Okay.
No,
Good. Good. Good.
sir.
1 point. Ah.
Hello.
Ah.
So 0.24 into under root of FCK, right, na, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ha, 1.5.
Yeah, it's correct. 1.51. 52. Okay. Jayant, you are not able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. It's fluctuating, sir. Mix हो रहा है.
Okay.
ए, आपका इशू नहीं है सर, मेरा थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू है। ठीक है, दिख रहा है
Okay,
सर अब।
हाँ. Okay. See, Ft we have got 1.51 Newton per mm square. Therefore, substitute here, it is 1.517 whole square plus 0.8. FCP he has directly given, it is 5, and FT we have calculated is 1.517. Okay. BC, it is on simplification, you will get 48.4 kilonewton. Okay. Then, now, balance here. Okay. B minus BC. Okay. How much he has given? It is 60 minus BC we have got 48.4. Okay. So on balancing we will get 11.6 kilo Newton. Okay. The procedure is same as we have done in SD2. Okay. Now what we will do? We will use 8 mm die of bars. Okay. Don't use 10 mm. Use 8 mm die bars. Okay. So SV equals to, we have ASV multiplied by 0.87 multiplied by Fy into D. Okay. That is balanced one, B minus BC. Okay. Which is equals to, and I'm using 2 leg. Okay. 2 leg stirrups. 2 into pi D square by 4. Okay, into 0.87 into Fy he has given to use 250. Okay, so I will use 250. If not mentioned, use 415. Okay, the effective depth it is 200 divided by the balanced one is 11.6. Can anyone tell what is the value of this one? Instead of 6 mm, I have changed to 8 mm. So tell me what is the value. Just solve it and tell me. Can anyone tell what is the answer?
सर 276 आ रहा है मेरा।
Two,
376.99 है सर मेरा।
377. Shubham, just check once it. It cannot be 37.69. Okay, I will say 377 mm. Okay, so the next thing is that I can't provide this much. Okay, so according to IS specification, the maximum permissible spacing equals to 0.75 times the D. Okay, which will be equals to 0.75. The effective depth is 200. Okay, so it will be 150 mm. So what you do, just provide one 2 leg stirrups, okay, at 150 mm center to center. Okay, this is how we will do the uh, designing for this one. Okay, by taking the shear flexure failure. Okay, anybody having doubt? Anybody having doubt? Shall I go for the next one? Okay, I will go for the next one. The next one we will solve it on for uncracked section. We have solved how to do this one. For we will see for the cracked sections.
Sir, what is the weightage of this numerical?
Mm, it may be 4 marks. He has not asked single time also, but we can expect this. Okay, the question is big, very big one. Mm, okay. The cross section of the pre-stressed concrete beam is unsymmetric. Okay, unsymmetrical T section with overall depth of 1300 mm. Okay, the thickness of the web he has given 150 mm. Okay, the distance of top and bottom fibers from the centroids are, he has given the value of y's. Okay, that is 545 mm and 755 mm. Okay, respectively. At a particular section, the beam is subjected to ultimate movement. Okay, he has given the movement. By seeing that, we can judge this one is a for a cracked one. Okay, and a shear force of B equals to 273 kilonewton. Effective depth he has given 1100 mm. Okay, cube strength he has taken M45. The effective pre-stressing after all the loss, sorry, effective pre-stress at the extreme tensile phase. Okay, he has given FCP, it is 19.3 Newton per mm square. Second moment of inertia also he has directly given, therefore not necessary to find the value of I. Area of steel in the section AP he has given. Okay. Tensile strength in the tendon FP instead of 1600 he has given 1500. Okay. After all the losses FPE value he has given 819. Okay. Estimate the flexural shear resistance to the section using Indian codes. Here Indian codes and British codes are similar, okay, for the cracked section. Okay, you know the formula. Okay, be fast. Just write down the formula. What is the formula? First, BC equals to 1 minus 0.55 FPE upon FP. Okay, tau C into BW. I'll take BW because it is T section. Okay, into effective depth plus m naught upon m into v. Okay, so by writing the given things, the one thing you came to know that I don't know the value of tau c. Okay, I will write it here. I don't know the value of tau c. Okay, how we will find out the value of tau c? I should go for the table. Okay, that uh, design strength, shear strength of concrete tau c. We should go for that table. Before going that, we should know that 100 into AP upon B into D we should calculate, then we should know what grade of concrete he has given, then we should go for the table. Okay. The second thing, what we need the value of m naught. Okay, he has not given the value of. How you will calculate the value of m naught? Know that it is 0.8 FPE into I upon YB. Okay. So first we will find this one. I will call this one as A. I will call this one as B. Okay. Tau C. I want to determine the tau C. For that I need 100 into AP upon B into D. Substitute it. You will get 100 into what is the value of AP? AP he has given how much? Okay, here he has given 2310. Okay, divided by B into D 150, and effective depth where he has given, okay, it's here 1100. So you will get 1.40. Okay. Now I will go to that table. Yeah. How much I have got? 1.40. Okay, 1.40, and the grade of concrete it is M45. I think, yeah, M45. See here, you can see M more than 40, 40 or above. You can use this column. Okay. So what you do? Just do interpolation. Okay, and find the value. Okay. On interpolation and everything, we get tau c equals to how much? 0.77. Obviously, it will be in mm per mm square. Okay. So what I will do? Directly I will substitute here that from the table 8.1 IS 1343. The value of tau c I have got, it is 0.77. Okay. Then I need to determine the value of m naught. So what to do here? Only just substitute the value 0.87. Okay. FCP, how much he has given? CP, here you can see it is 19.3. Substitute 19.3 multiplied by I value he has directly given. It is 665 into 10 power 8 divided by, for top and bottom he has given. Okay, in question only for top and the bottom he has given. So we need bottom. We will take 755. On solving, we will get 136 into 10 power 7. Then okay. Now what you do? Just put things in this formula. Okay. 1 minus 0.55 FPE, how much he has given after the losses? It is 890. Okay, substitute. Wait, I will take the next slide. Okay, what I will do? I will substitute the things in the formula. So I have got VC equals to 1 minus 0.55 into 890 divided by FP, we have got 1500. Okay, into tau c, how much we have got? We have got 0.77. Okay, width of the web it is how much is given? 150. Okay, effective depth how much it is? 1100. Okay, plus m naught upon mb. We have calculated m naught, that is 136 into 10 power 7 divided by 2130 into 10 power 6. Okay, multiplied by V. He has given 237 kilonewton. Okay, therefore on simplification we will get 240 kilonewton. Okay, since the actual shear which is lesser than the ultimate shear resistance of the section, the only minimum shear reinforcement are required. Okay. So, and one more thing I want to say is that keep all the units in either Newton per mm or Newton meter or Newton or meter. Otherwise, keep it in meter, kilonewton meter or kilonewton or in meter. Okay, don't mix it. Okay, if you mix it you won't get the correct answer. Now calculate the value of SV and tell me how much you will get, and I will give the formula, that is ASV equals 0.87 F5. How much you will get by the value of SV. And be very careful about the units, okay, which in terms of which units you are going to take. What is the value of SV? You take 2 leg data. Oh. Into 5d square by 4, 0.87 F1, take 4 on 5. Okay. 0.4 into width of the web, how much it is? 150.
Sir, 604.
604. Okay, according to permissible, it is 0.75 into D. How much you will get? Effective depth.
453, sir.
Anybody having doubt?
Sir, 825, 0.7 is 825.
Okay. Provide the least one then. It's 825. Then provide the least one. Anybody having doubt? Shall I move to the next concept? Be fast, okay? There are a lot of things to. Shall I move to the next concept? Comment yes if you want to move to the concept.
Yes, sir.
Shall I move to the? Okay. So yeah, the next concept is very important. Okay, it will be very difficult to you to understand the concept, but I found a normal traditional method or a simple method to make you understand. Okay, see, most important one, anchorage zone for end blocks. Okay, in post tension you have seen the anchorage zones. Okay, see, why I have chosen this picture is important here. I will see. Okay, 1 second. I will change the color. Okay. So okay, you know this is a well. Okay, bucket, rope, and the important thing, hand. Okay, here also you can see the ropes in this view. Okay, here we can see the ropes followed by the people. Okay, see here this bucket when you drop into the well, okay, it will be free, okay, and it will be free from water, therefore there is no load in the bucket, correct? So when you fill, okay, and one more thing, while leaving the bucket into the well, your hand does not feel any stress, or if hand will not take any stress, no stress is developed, correct? So when you leave the bucket inside, and when the bucket is filled with water, and what you do, and you start to pull the bucket upward, okay, with the help of this pulley is there, no problem. See, while uh, bringing the bucket upward, there will be a stress, okay, developed in your hand, okay, and there you need a more, what you say, good anchorage, okay. If you hold it very tightly and if you apply the force, then only the bucket will come up, otherwise there will be a slip here, okay, there will be a slip in your hand and the bucket will fall back, okay. So what you may have observed, while pulling the bucket upwards, your palms will turn into red color. Okay. So what it will do? Say, I will clear and I will explain. One second. Okay. So what you do? You will take this rope, okay, and extra turn in your hand such that you need some extra grip to pull the bucket. Similarly, if you see here also, okay, here have some knots, okay. Here also you will have some knots, okay, but here you will have some knots, and you will hold the hand here, okay. You will hold the hand instead of this point. You will hold the hand here, such that you will get some okay. I hope you have got at least 2% of idea I'm going to say. Okay. If you have got this one, then only you will understand the anchorage zone at anchoring at the end zones. Similarly, the beam also require a good anchorage. Okay, for the post tension one, it requires good anchorage. You have different types of devices, furnished and default. Other types of anchorage devices are there. Having that also, but some portion of the concrete will be subjected to, you can call that force as a bursting force, okay. So what we will do, we will see in detail. Just remember that to pull the bucket upward, some extra force, okay, and your hand will turn into red color, okay. Just remember that, okay. See, and one more thing, if you don't know what is longitudinal section and what is the transverse section, okay, then don't sit for the class, okay. See, when you draw the beam, this will be your longitudinal section, okay, this will be your transverse or cross section, okay. See, Here I have a, okay, if I draw this one, it will be continued. Okay, see, I have a bearing plate. This one is provided. Okay, and we will call it one as YPO. Okay, don't take this two types. Just take YPO, and this one as YO. Okay. See here, at the extreme ends, the extreme ends, the stresses are, repeat, the stresses are not parallel. Okay, if I continues this stress line, okay, where is the pointer? If I continue this stress line, at a certain distance they become parallel to each other. Okay, at certain distance they will become parallel to each other. That distance, what we will call? We will call it as YO. Okay, so YO, what is YO? YO is one of the longest section. If it is 100 upon 300, okay, YO 100. Okay, so just understand the concept. Here you can see at this end, okay, the stresses are not uniform. Okay, they are in radial form or in a curved path, correct? And after a certain point, they become parallel. Okay, so that distance we will call it as a Y naught, and we are interested in this portion. Okay, the how stress is distributed. Okay, here this one is for single bearing plate, and here double bearing plates. Okay, and here also you can see up to this, okay, up to this point the stresses are in radial or in a curved path, and later on they become parallel to each other. Okay, by like this. Okay, parallel to each other. Hmm? This is how it is distributed. Okay, here you can see transmission of force in the, this is for double plate, and this is for the single anchorage plate, or you can call it as also. Okay, and if you need any, if we ask any theory regarding to this one, in IS 1343 page number 35, it has given everything. Okay, just, but the thing is that understand the concept. Understanding the concept is most important. Unless and until you don't understand the concept, you can't solve the numerical. Okay, but just by highlighting you can solve. But if we make any small twist in the question, means you can't answer. So what you do, just understand the concept. Okay, see here I said that we have so stress, okay, not parallel to each other. Okay, and later at a distance of Y naught it will be parallel. Okay, so here in a green color I'm explaining this one. Okay, both are same, but it is in the colors, so I have selected this figure. So here this is my bearing plate. Okay, you know what is the use of bearing plate in foundation designing? In steel structures we are used the bearing plates. Okay, similarly here we are using the bearing plates. Okay, you know the what is the use of bearing plates or why or whatever. So see the green line or the trajectory path, this one you can see. Okay, these are called, these are the stresses lines generated due to the compression in the concrete. Okay, so what we will call, it will call as a compressive stress trajectories. Okay, you can see These, okay, green lines are the compressed stress trajectory, and the orange color lines, okay, the orange color lines which are in transverse direction, that is YZ direction, okay. So these are called as tensile stress trajectory, okay. And YPO will be the size of bearing plate, okay. It may be around 200 upon 200, 250 by 250, or 300 by 300, whatever the size may be, okay. YPO is nothing but the uh, size of the bearing plate, okay. Why not? Initially I have said, if you draw the cross section, okay, if it is 100, it is 300, the Y naught will be 300. See, this is a cross sectional, okay, and they assumes that the stress will be radial in terms of radial up to Y naught, okay. Y naught means say up to 300 mm, okay. After that, the stresses will be uniformly distributed, okay. So this is Y naught. Y naught is the larger transverse dimension of the end zone. Okay, which one is larger here? It is 300. So I will take 300. Okay, larger transverse direction of the end zone. Okay, the same thing. Okay, the big one is the idealized stress path. Okay, if you draw the curve means it is, you will see. I have one more figure. This one, and I will explain the previous one. See here, this is the spalling tension. Spalling is nothing but, what do you mean by spalling? Spalling means swelling, okay? Spalling of the, or breaking. Break or breaking, okay? Here we will have some spalling tension, okay? So due to that, what we are doing, we are finding the bursting force and etc. Okay? So just go through this one. Here we have bursting tension. What is bursting tension? That your hand becoming red, not hand, palm. Okay? Becoming red in color. Okay? So, see, when you won't provide the bearing plate, okay? See, I am going to explain in very neat manner. Just understand the concept. Okay, see, here we don't have the bearing plate, correct? So you can see the stress distribution like this. Okay, there is a tremendous stress distribution. Okay, and we have the maximum blasting force. And here you see, I have provided a bearing plate, say around 200 upon 200 size bearing plate. Okay, the blasting force somewhat got reduced, okay, compared to this one. Now what I have done is that I have provided the greater bearing plates. Okay, so say around 300 upon 300, correct? So you can see the changes in the blasting forces. So by one thing we get clear that if you if there is increase in the, or blasting force is inversely proportional to size of bearing plate. Okay, if you increase the size of the plate means obviously the blasting force will get reduced. Okay, if you reduce the size of the bearing plate, blasting force will get more. Suppose says that this is my beam, okay, and I have a hole here. Okay, I have a hole here. So what I will do, say the hole diameter it is 16 mm, say 22 mm, sorry, say 22 mm, the bolt size will be 20 mm. Okay, so what I will do, I will provide a Y shape say around the size 20 mm. Okay, I will provide the visor of 20 mm and I will what you say, apply the load. See, visor cannot distribute the load. If I draw the side view, okay, this is my visor, okay, and this is my bolt. Okay, when you apply the load, the visor gets fade, okay, and it will cut off and you come outside. So what I will do, I will provide the visors of size, the hole is 20 mm, okay, I will provide 20 mm, 22 mm only. It just sits on the hole, then also there is a chances of failure. So what I will do, I will provide of 26 mm. Therefore, it can distribute the force. This is my visor and this is my bolt. The same thing, whatever you have studied in structural steel designing, here also the same thing, the bearing plate role is. Okay, here we can see APUN is the punching area and this one is the bearing area. Okay. Sorry. This is your cross section and this yellow line is not out of the box, okay, it is inside of the bin, okay. So it will look like this, okay. The punching means nothing but the bearing plate, area of the bearing plate, and bearing area, it will be this much. So what we will do, we will take it in terms of square, okay. And one more thing, here you can see we have two zones. The outer side one we will call it as the local zone and inner one side we will call it as the general zone. Okay. Okay. This one I will tell. One more thing. Here I will draw. See, this is my beam. Okay, and I came to know that if I provide the bearing plate here, and I came to know that up to y0, correct, up to y0 there is a more stress because the stresses are not parallel, correct. So what I will do, I will here we have tendons, okay. So what I will do, I will determine the punching area, okay, bearing area, and determine the blasting force, okay. Even I will determine the loads, okay. And I'm doing all these things. What I will do, see, I came to know that here I have a more stress, okay. So by doing that, one thing I will get conclude that I should need extra reinforcement. Okay, I should provide the extra reinforcement. So what we will do, we have some calculations, okay, we will see about it. Okay, we will have a, I will show the beam also, okay. So what we will do, we will provide the beams, okay. Here there will be a close spacing, okay, and later there will be a fast spacing because the stress concentration at this point it is more rather than the other part, okay. Okay, and how we will provide the reinforcement, will provide in the both the way, okay, in vertical direction and also in horizontal direction. This you can see like this, okay, and here also you can see along the width. You can provide like this, or you can provide the links also. We will call links or loops. Okay, like this. Okay. We have loops. Okay. This is just a cut section. Okay, if you draw the beam, you will come to know. Okay, this is the beam, this is the turn down. Okay, we have different types of reinforcements. Okay. Initially I have said that spalling, okay, is nothing but a breaking out. See, I have not provided any reinforcement here, extra reinforcement, so it was breaking out due to the forces. Okay, even also providing the bearing plates. So what I have done is that I have provided the reinforcement here. Okay, the same thing. Okay. Okay, this is the cage. Okay, this is the cage, how it looks like, and these are the anchoring guides. Okay, from here these holes the tendons will be passed. Okay, see here we can see it is a, we are talking about post tension. Okay, this is a duct. Okay, this is your end blockage. Okay, end zone anchorage. Okay, here you can see the closely spaced reinforcement. Okay, and we can see here the spacings are more. Okay, after casting it looks like this. Okay, this block we will take and we will attach it to the I section or a rectangular section or I section, wherever, if you are providing the tendons here. Okay, this will come and it will fit here. Okay, and we call it as a prism. Okay, prism. If you have more than one bearing plates, okay, prism. This will come and it will sit here. I will show you the photo. You will come to know. So this is how we should. Here you can see. This is a different part, and this one is a different part. Okay, and one more thing, this end block. Okay, most important thing point is that it requires high strength tensile. Okay, high strength steels. Okay, high strength steels, and another thing is that the grade of concrete should be more. Okay, the concrete should be also more. Okay, just remember it in the mind. Okay, sometimes, okay, you can see it like this, sometimes it will be like a rectangular shape. Okay, later on what they will do, just they will taper it. Okay, and they will bring to this shape. Okay, okay. Just to take this formula or to calculating the bursting force, I will tell the remaining things. The provision of Indian Standard Code IS 1343 for the computation of the bursting tensile force in the end blocks is based on the Zillings and the Ross, and hence are similar to British code provisions. Okay, the bursting tensile force FBST is obtained from the expressions. Okay, TK is nothing but the tendon jacking force. Okay, YP upon YO is nothing but the distribution ratio. The reinforcement is designed to sustain the bursting tension and is to assume to at its design strength of 0.7 Fy. Okay. The stress, however, is limited to value corresponding to 0.1%. Okay, forget about this one when the cover is less than 50 mm. Okay. The design reinforcement distribution in the zones 0.22 to Y0. Okay. For the loaded phase of the end blocks, if group of anchors are encountered, the end block is divided into series. Okay. Even you will call it as a prism. Okay. Into a series of symmetrically loaded prisms, and each prism is analyzed for bursting tensile forces using recommended expression. Okay. We have different prisms. Okay. Just take down the formula. Along this, just take AST equals to FBST to determine the steels. Okay, FBST divided by FS. FS is nothing but the stress in the transverse reinforcement. Okay, and which is limited to 0.87 Fy. Okay, Fs it is given by Fs equals to 0.87 Fy. Finished taking. Okay, we will go for a numerical. Okay, just take down simple numerical. It was asked in 2015. And block of post tension beam is 350 mm by 500 mm. Okay, where is the pointer? How much it is? 350 by 500. 350 by 500. Okay. The pressure force is 800 kilonewton. Okay, P has to by 800 kilonewton. Okay, with a tendon placed centrally at the ends, a bearing plate of 200 mm by 200 mm. Okay, bearing plate size we have given, that is 200 by 200. Okay, provided calculate the bursting force and design the reinforcement using FE 500. FE 500. Okay, so the one thing is that Y naught will be how much? It is the maximum one, 350. Sorry, not 350.
Just 500, no?
Hmm. One second, one second. Whether I have got confused. So I will check in for book. Page number 26. One second. It's 300. Okay. In every problem, he has taken the width. Transmission line. One second. I section 259, 255. Sorry. Okay, he says that it should be in a square. Okay, so he has taken this width. Okay, B. And for I section, T section, he has taken width of the web. So one thing we will do, I will check it and I will tell you. But now presently we will take it as 350 only. We will take it in 350 only and we will solve. Okay, and YPO he has given bearing plate size is 200. Okay, therefore bursting force, that is F, it is given by PU 0.32 minus 0.3 YPO upon YO. Okay, here we can see this formula. Okay, just I have taken here. You also have okay, I will see. Just substitute the values. That is, it is 800, 0.32 minus 0.3. Okay, it is 200 upon 350. So 118.85 kilonewton. Okay, and whatever he has calculated the bursting force and design for the reinforcement using. Okay, EST, I have said you that EST, which is equals to FBST upon FS, which is restricted to 0.875. Okay, just you can take it as FBST divided by 0.87 Fy. Okay, here we have got FBST as 118 into 10 power 3 divided by it's 0.87 multiplied by he says to use FE 500. Okay, therefore we will get 2000 sorry 273.21 mm square. So use 8 mm dia bars, that too FE 500. Therefore number of bars it is given by capital sorry small capital EST by small EST. Capital EST it is this much, small EST pi d square by 4. You will get 5.43, can see 6 bars. Okay. Just make one correction that it is 350. Okay, consider in terms of square. Okay, the bearing plate will be also in terms of square, so he's taken that. Why not also in terms of square? Okay, 350 by 350 actually.
So that means which is the least one that is to be considered? That is B is to be considered. Huh?
Mm-hmm. B is to be considered, but in code book and even in the diagrams also he says that you should take the larger one, but here it is taken the smaller ones. I will see and I will tell you. Okay, for present you
Because
just take it the
technically, even
least one.
you showed in a previous
Yeah,
slide,
yeah,
there was a which yeah, in
larger
this one, see larger
yeah,
one.
they said larger one, but on each and every problem he has taken the smaller one. Okay, just I will go through it and I will tell you. Okay, but
Okay.
for present, what you do, just take it is the least one. Okay, take another one. See, if it has given this circular bearing plate, means you should convert it into in terms of square. Okay, another type of one is there. So I'll be a little bit fast. The end, this one is second numerical on end blocks. Okay, the end block of post tension beam is 300 mm by 300 mm. Okay, and pre-stressed by the pressed cylinder anchorage of 150 mm. Okay, here they are using which type of anchorage? We have grip hold, hovers, etc. Here he is using pressed cylinder. Okay, F R E Y S S I N E T. Okay, this type of anchoraging he is using, and he says it is circular and 150 mm dia. Okay, the diameter is 150 mm with the jacking force P he has given, that is 800 kilonewton. Okay, design the suitable anchorage reinforcement. So I will draw the diagram. It is not up to the scale. Okay, 300 by 300. Okay, this is okay, this is the circular one. For this I should use the bearing plate. Okay, it is 150 mm. Okay, but I need the sizes. Okay, so we know that area it is given by 5 d means I need this size, correct? Why not? So YPO pi d square by 4, which is equals to area. Okay, but this area is a by a. The square one will be a by a. So I need the value of that a. So what you do? Just take YPO square root of pi d square by 4. Okay, it will be pi into b value, it will be 150 square upon 4. Therefore you can call it as YPO of a. It will be 133 mm. Therefore this bearing plate size will be 133. 133, 133. Okay, just equating these two. So, okay, we get 133, 133, and directly find the bursting force. Bursting force, it is given by BST PK 0.32 minus 0.3 YPO upon YO. PK, how much he has given? He has given 800.32. YPO we have calculated, and YO it will be 300. Okay, we will get 149.6 kilonewton. Okay, we have got BST. Okay, similarly what we will do, we will find the AST by using the same formula. We will get 421 Newton per mm, 421 mm square. And now what I will do, I will use 8 mm dia Fe4 on pi. Okay, so therefore number of bars will be equals to 9. Okay, the same procedure, everything is same. Here we are providing the square plate. Okay, just what you do, you know the area of this circle. You want to give that same area in terms of square, just find these values. Okay, and everything is same. Okay, and I have left with another last type of problem. Okay, if he says check the bearing stress, okay, whether it is permissible or not. Okay, we will see that last one. Before going to that, uh, code book. Mm. Yeah. Okay, this one is required. Okay, the bearing stress on the area immediately behind the external anchorage, the permissible unit. Okay, just remember the permissible unit bearing stress on the concrete after accounting for losses due to relaxation of steel, elastic shortening, and seating of anchorage shall not exceed. Okay, he says it shall not exceed 0.48 times of FCI square root of ABR upon A APUM, means area of the bearing and area of the punching. Okay, or 0.8 times of FCK, whichever is smaller. Okay, just I will take this one, and where we know what is FCI, cubic strength of transfer. ABR is the bearing area, and this one is punching area. Just I will copy it here, not copied. how much we have, that is mm, allowable, that is stress bearing allowable. How much we have? We have 0.48 times of FCI into square root of A bearing divided by A punching. Okay, means area of the bearing plate, area of the punch. Sorry, bearing means it will be 300 by 300 the square thing, which we have taken the least one, and punching will be the this one bearing plate. Okay. Mm, so we will take one numerical just to check whether the stresses are uh, in limit or not. So an end block of post tension beam, it is 350 by 500. Okay, it is 350 by 500. The effective pressure force P equals to 800 kilonewton with a tendon placed at the centrally at the ends. The strength of the concrete at the transfer C is equal to 40 Newton per mm square. Okay, check. Okay, he says that check the bearing stress. Okay, check the bearing stress if the bearing plate is of 200 by 200 mm is provided. Okay, so we have all the given things. So first what we do, we will calculate a punching. Okay, which will be equals to
Sorry, your mic is mute. Is on mute. Sir, your mic is on mute.
Array, how long it was mute?
सर सम चालू झाल्यापासून एक 5 मिनिटं.
Okay. Uh, did you hear this one? Up to stress allowable up to this point?
So when you started the sum from then,
This numerical.
yes.
Okay. See, he says that it is 350 by 500. Okay, and the load he has given 800 kilonewton. FCK concrete he has given 40 newton. And if he asks check for this bearing stress, okay, the procedure is that you should go for the this formula according to the code book. Okay, in clause you have 19.6.2.1. okay, you will get the formula there only. Just what to do, determine the punching area, means about the bearing plate, and ABR is nothing but the bearing area which is bared by the concrete. Okay, what we will do, we will take the, this is the bearing plate, means this will be your bearing area. Okay, so it will be square 350 by 350. Okay, and just substitute all the things in the formula, you will get 33.6 and 32.32. okay, we have 0.8 FCK another one, so just check between these two, whichever is less you just take it. And what is the present stress available there? It is P upon A, correct? Means stress it is given by load upon area according to the given load or according to the given area. Okay, it is 800 upon 200 by 200. You will get 20 Newton per mm square, okay, which is lesser than the allowed one. So it's okay, we can go further. If not, what we should do, we should change the section. Okay, anybody having doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, comment your roll numbers and you can leave the class. Tomorrow I can't take class. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Thursday I will take the class. Okay, here I have left with sufficient length. Okay, slab designing is there. Okay, two-way slab, two-way slab is there, and one-way slab is there for post tension. Okay, so then I need nearly 6 to 7 classes. Okay, first to complete this second unit. So what I say is that from the next class be a little bit faster. Okay, and what I do is that I will solve three numericals and remaining I will give homework. Okay, because I can't solve each and every numerical. So still I need 7 classes, that to 6 to 7 classes for minimum 2 hours. Okay, not for 1 hour, for minimum for 2 hours to complete this unit. So we will solve less numerical in the class and I will give some assignments. Okay, if anybody having doubt they can ask in the next class. Okay. Okay. Then you can leave the class. That's all.
Submit, sir.